Welcome back to the main events of Italian diplomatic activity abroad. On July 23, Italy's Minister of Foreign Affairs Antonio Tajani spoke in Verona at a closing session of the Conference of Directors of the Italian Cultural Institutes. The annual gathering brings together the heads of Italy's worldwide cultural network to define the priorities of Italian cultural diplomacy and strengthen cooperation between the Italian cultural institutes and the cultural and institutional excellence of the Verona region. During his address, Minister Tajani outlined the Foreign Ministry's strategy following the recent institutional reform, which has made cultural promotion one of the key pillars for economic growth, the internationalization of the Italian system, and support for Italian businesses abroad.
Grazie a tutti I direttori e tutte le direttrici.
Thank you to all the directors for what you do and what you represent. Everything Italian is a part of our identity, and the Italian cultural institutes are right not to limit themselves to what was once considered culture in the narrow sense. I believe you should be increasingly valued by our ministry, so we will do everything we can to ensure you are able to work to the fullest.
Quindi faremo di tutto per fare in modo che voi possiate essere messi nelle condizioni di lavorare nel modo migliore.
Today, the network of Italian Cultural Institutes includes 88 offices in 63 countries, organizing more than 5,000 cultural events and initiatives every year. On July 20th, on the sidelines of the meeting between Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and Portuguese Prime Minister Luis Montenegro, Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani signed an agreement with Portugal's Foreign Minister Paulo Rangel, aimed at strengthening bilateral cooperation through regular consultations between the two ministries of foreign affairs. The agreement will allow the Italian and Portuguese diplomatic services to work more closely in exploring new opportunities for cooperation in the cultural, scientific and economic sectors, also building on a strong presence of major Italian companies in Portugal. In 2025, bilateral trade between the two countries approached 10 billion euros, representing a 5.6% increase compared with the previous year. Together with the Saudi Foreign Minister on 28 and 29 of July, I will co-chair in Rome a meeting of the Global Alliance for the Two-State Solution. We will give new momentum to the New York Declaration, which we signed last year. This was announced by Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani on July 22nd during his hearing before the Italian Chamber of Deputies on the outcomes of the NATO summit held in Ankara. Minister Tajani also announced that a new round of US-mediated talks between Israel and Lebanon will take place in Rome on 4th of August, underlining that Italy continues to play a leading diplomatic role in this process. Mr. Tajani, together with the Commander General of the Carabinieri Salvatore Luongo, took part in the closing event of the initiative The Carabinieri Meet Diplomacy, a training program designed to introduce future Carabinieri officers to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its activities. The program focused on combating illicit trafficking, addressing the international challenges connected to organized crime, and promoting the best practices of cooperation within the Italian institutional system. Participants included 63rd year officers cadets from the 203rd Carabinieri Advanced Course, alongside young diplomats from the Renato Ruggiero diplomatic competition. Carabinieri currently serve in numerous international missions including Lebanon, Kosovo, Iraq, Somalia, Palestine, Djibouti, Rafah, Niger and Libya. Their international network includes more than 560 Carabinieri personnel deployed across 221 Italian diplomatic missions worldwide, where they are also responsible for ensuring the security of diplomatic staff. Deputy Prime Minister of Foreign Affairs Edmondo Cirielli traveled to the United Kingdom, where he met with Stefan Doughty, the British Minister of State for Europe, North America and the Overseas Territories, who was recently confirmed by the new Prime Minister Andy Burnham. The meeting reaffirmed the excellent state of bilateral relations between Italy and the United Kingdom in the field of politics, economic cooperation and strategic partnership. Both sides also welcomed the continued growth in bilateral trade, which reached €35 billion in 2025. Laura Egoli has been appointed Italy's new ambassador to Montenegro. A career diplomat since 1996, Ambassador Egoli served in China and in several departments of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. She succeeds Andreina Marcella, who has taken up her new post as Italy's ambassador to Latvia, following previous assignment in Kabul, Tunis and Tripoli. The Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, together with the Department for Digital Transformation and Presidency of the Council of Ministers and the State Printing Office and Mint, has launched a major pilot project to digitalize some of the most valuable collection preserved in the Historical Diplomatic Archive of the Ministry. The project will digitize more than 560 linear meters of archival documentation relating to Italian communities abroad, the Mussolini government 1923-1943, the Ministry of Italian Africa, and the Paris Peace Conference 1918-1922. All part of the Ministry overall archive of approximately 33 kilometers of historical records. Thanks to this initiative, an important portion of the Farnesina historical documentary heritage will become accessible online through a dedicated digital portal. And that's all for now. Thanks for your attention and stay tuned!